lights on, and he's just going to take notes. When things are going bad out on the racetrack somewhere, he's going to try to find out who's at fault and get right after the offending car.
I still want to know how Bill Fountain's starting on point. You see how fast he was going, too?
He was going pretty fast.
They must not have handicapped the field.
Do you have a favorite in this race?
Whoa.
Do you want to pick a favorite?
Well, the 00 won the endurance race that they had last year, that same car.
Yes.
But I don't think he'll win. I'm going to go with Mike Hance, the 269, the yellow car.
All right. I'm going to take the 00 then. What about you, Joe? You got a car you're going to pick?
88X.
88X. That's Eric Messier from Heinsberg, Vermont. How'd you come up with the 88X?
When he drives, he assaults the track.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's got some pepper with him, too. The field, where the green flag's out or racing, Bill Fountain is already approaching the back of the pack in turns 3 and 4. Keep an eye on this battle that's up towards the third turn. Car number 35, that is Jeff Murray. He's working down on the inside lane, and right now that's a bad place to be. Those Jersey barriers are not going to be very friendly today. 3 wide along the front stretch through zig and zag.
Like that.
Oh, the 00 almost got punched there by Richie Turner.
He was almost flushed.
He was almost flushed by the 173. Now the leader is the 77. Bill Fountain is...
he just barely got around that slow number 50.
He's already put a lap on the number 50.
That's Tyler Levine.
And I think he's put a lap on the 88 as well.
The 88's taking its time.
Well, sometimes slow and steady in this race wins the race.
This would be a perfect race for Austin LaGrave, the Tortoise, 0-7 in the mini-mod class.
The 77 of Bill Fountain is working on the back of the pack. There's a lot of single-file racing that's going on right now. The 00 of Chris Reeves is trying to make a move. Oh, he slides up just past the Jersey barrier that's in the middle between turns 3 and 4. We've got a pretty good number of cars working along the front stretch. Kevin Sorrell in the 68 is way down on the inside line, and then they have to push up to the top of 1 and 2 to make their way through the field. It's going to be a real fun event for anyone with a camera trying to film this race this afternoon, with traffic happening all around the racetrack. You just have to hope you're pointing in the right direction when something happens. Nothing really has happened yet, and with all the obstacles out there, you would think that somebody might have punched one of them by now. Richie Turner came close. The number 92, Mark Lubitsch with the number 92. They were all able to escape and stay out on the racetrack. Now the sheriff is in the infield. And over towards turn number 3, the sheriff is keeping an eye on things. If he sees some injustice, he'll hop in that car and he'll come out on the racetrack and try to get after the offender. Oh, that was trouble. The 122, he ends up on the side with one of the barriers on the front stretch. He could not navigate zigzag.
That's Ryan Benoit.
Ryan Benoit from Burlington, and he may be our first casualty. That car is now smoking heavily. He was helped into zigzag by the 92 of Lubitsch. That's the second time that Lubitsch has got into somebody. He almost put Richie Turner into that barrier a little bit earlier, and it could be terminal for the 122 of Benoit. That car does not want to get going.
Whoa.
I think his day is done.
Usually when you see a driver punch the dashboard, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, he would, and I'm sure he would not be happy. And he saw the replay. It was the number 92 of Lubitsch who got a piece of him.
All right.
I don't know. Here he's got it going again. All right.
Was he perhaps waiting for Lubitsch? No, I don't see.
No, he's got it rolling. But that certainly will set him back, as he ended up being parked in the infield for the better part of a lap. But the lap before, the 92 got a piece of the 17 right near the 173, I should say, near the tire barrier. Through zigzag, and they almost got Turner. So we have 7 laps complete. The 77 crosses the start-finish line. He is still your leader. That puts lap number 8 up on the... Oh, look out. Car number 5 almost went flying up on top of the wall. That was John Fountain, and now he is prone. Oh, he got pounded by the number 30, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag. The yellow flag is out. And now we're going to bring out the red flag.
Here comes the sheriff, too.
So the red flag is out. Cars trying to stop along the front stretch. John Fountain in the number 5. Oh, we got cars that might crash into him again.
Who's that number 9?
Well, there's two of them.
Well.
You can take your pick. Well, Tona, here he comes off of turn number 4, about to hit the zig and the zag. That's the danger zone, and he's got the green flag. Chris Reeves in the 00 runs in the second spot, and let's see if he wants to follow the 77 for a little while or perhaps try to make a play for the lead. Well, he's not going to be able to do it because the 77 is just going to draw away up in towards the third turn, moving underneath the tire snake in the third turn. And here he comes again off the fourth turn, wanting to get down low as he approaches the zigzag, and Reeves is staying right with him. It's about a 2-car length differential between the leaders. Running in third right now is Chris Hines in the 101. He is from Peru. And then it's a gap back to Mike Hantz, who is from Westport in the 269. Oh, he's getting passed by Nick Haywood in number 29. Haywood's using the outside line. And the 88X is also in a battle. That is Eric Messier. He is trying to get around Hantz. He's got Kevin Sorrell on the outside as well with the number 68. They figured it out. They go single file through zigzag along the front stretch. And they work down the Sherm chute up into turn number 2. Let's follow our leaders again. The 77 of Bill Fountain still has the lead. And then it's the 00 of Chris Reeves right behind. And I think Reeves would like to make a play for the lead, but he's trying to figure out the exact spot on the racetrack where he wants to do it. Oh, there's contact coming off of turn number 4. Bill Fountain is still the leader.
I think Bill Fountain was mirror driving a little bit that time off of that fourth turn as he came right down and blocked him. Let's watch it again as Chris Reeves tries to catch up to him, but Bill Fountain starts pulling away. Perhaps he was just playing possum with him, or is Chris Reeves backing off and he's just going to ride for a little bit. Nick Haywood in that number 29 has been moving through. If you look back a little bit, the yellow car, Mike Hantz, he's kind of slowing everybody up. He gets a tap in the rear from the 68. Uh-oh, there goes the 4. The 4, that's Troville. And, well, he's going to back it around, and he's going to keep going.
Still on the lead lap.
That number 68 car of Kevin Sorrell has been trying to get around the 269 of Mike Hantz. Finally got around that time. He kind of pushed Hantz up the track. Hantz is, well, he's a little bit slow right now. Slow and steady going around the racetrack. But I mentioned earlier, Nick Haywood, he's a man on a mission. Started towards the back of the pack, and, well, he just took second away. Looks him in the eye, goes right on by Chris Reeves, and it won't be long before he's side by side with Bill Fountain. In fact, there he is now.
The 23 of Calvin Caswell has gone back to the garage area as we have a challenge for the lead.
Through a Sherm chute.
You better be careful when you say that. It could
Yeah,
go wrong
it
at some
could go
point.
wrong. Can't talk fast. Oh, there's a lap car up in front. Bill
Daniels.
Fountain goes down to the inside. Joe Daniels pushes up out of the way. Here comes Nick Haywood. Nick Haywood down through underneath, and he's going to go back up to the top of the racetrack, trying to pin Fountain down towards the inside.
Oh, he could be in trouble here.
They might go side by side through Sherm chute, but Sherm chute, they say single file. You don't want to get too wide through Sherm chute because you might not make it through.
Well, here's the spot to pass, but you got to really be on the back bumper. Go to the very top, headed towards the third turn, and then dive down to the inside. Or right here going to turn number 4. But again, you have to get low. Now Haywood's trying to dive down to the inside line to pass Fountain.
Nick Haywood still can't find a way by. The 50's headed back to the pits. That's Tyler Levine. I'm not sure what's wrong with that car other than the fact that it was going real slow.
That's enough.
Finding leaders again. They're working in turn number 3. Haywood again is going to look up to the top. Bill Fountain's got a gaggle of cars that are just running rather slow up in front of him. So this should be interesting to see what Nick Haywood does.
You know who's closing in? Messier in the 88X. He's right off the back bumper of Haywood, number 29.
right on the back bumper.
That's the Latemplio dark
Latemplio
horse
pick.
Yep. He's flying the Plattsburgh High School colors today, the 88X.
Bill Fountain trying to find a way by the 122 of Benoit.
Oh, this could get interesting.
They're all boxed up right now. They might be going double file through zig and zag.
Oh, that's a mistake if they do. They didn't do it.
Was a little bit of separation created between Haywood and Fountain. Haywood stuck behind the 122 of Benoit.
Oh, contacted too.
Up to the, there's the 9's around. The 8 went the wrong way around the hockey pucks, or around the Michelin tires up there in the exit of turn number 2. Bill Fountain trying to find a way through. A little bit of contact with the 86 car. The 86 car is Tyler Rhodes. So Rhodes is letting Bill Fountain know that you're not getting by easy. Separation between Fountain and Haywood. as Fountain works his way down.
Bill Fountain, still your leader. And here comes Nick Haywood, trying to cruise around turns 3 and 4 again. It's no surprise to see Nick Haywood near the front of the pack. He's had a great year this year, winning the title in the Sportsman Modified Division. And he's taking a look down low now on Bill Fountain. Can he get by him as they go around the hockey pucks?
Bill Fountain is still mirror driving.
Well, Fountain is trying to get around the Rebel. Andy Botella in the number 100. Look at this move.
Haywood a shot.
No, this could be trouble, though. Look out.
Zig and zag. Haywood clears him. Through Sherm shoot, no problem. In the amen corner. He's on his way with clear view in front of him. And Fountain's trying to play catch up now as he tries to clear the Rebel car with the 88X of Messier moving in as well. Haywood starting to lengthen that lead, and he can have a little easier time.
The Rebel punched the 77 pretty hard right in the back.
I think these boys are figuring out it's going to be a long day.
Bill Fountain gave him a couple of shots in the rear end trying to get him to go, but the 100 gave it back.
Well,
Haywood stretching out that lead down the backstretch around the Jersey Shore. As the field stretches out all the way around the track, Haywood coming through zigzag. No problems there. Continues to lead after 25 laps. Fountain giving chase, and there's Messier around the Rebel car. As we got a close one, 35 and 8 bumped going through Sherm Chute. That's where the action is today. And another gaggle of cars clears zigzag with no incidents. I think the boys have settled in. They figured out their lines, more or less. And we'll have racing from here on out as Bill Fountain tries to catch up to Nick Haywood. But Haywood's comfortably in the lead as he cruises down the backstretch.
Tyler Levine's coming back. Oh, we got a flip! We got a flip!
Over and through Amen corner.
it's the 122 of Ryan Benoit.
Benoit.
And that car went off the track and over.
That was one of the slowest flips I have ever seen.
So hopefully he's okay. Ryan Benoit's in the 122. He is from Burlington. Safety personnel will go over to check on Ryan Benoit in the 122.
Mike Perotti out, helping.
Trying to get that car back on all fours.
Well, it is now.
Gravity worked. And if he's on the lead lap. All right, the green flag about to be back out. Once again, here's Joe.
Green flag's out, and Haywood, Fountain's getting right underneath him as they restart the race here on lap 26. Haywood corrects it and takes off as we have 14 cars running now, and Messier clears Fountain easily down the backstretch, and he's making a run for Haywood, who still leads the race as he heads into zigzag. Through it cleanly. Messier gathering some speed. Both of them pulling away from Fountain in the third place as they look to widen the lead and get some space on these guys as the Rebel car comes back on the track and goes right in front of Bill Fountain, slowing him down, giving Messier and Haywood a much wider berth as they clear turn 4 and head through zigzag. Haywood through cleanly. Messier tracking him down.
The 77 and 100 don't like each other. That's already been well known.
You think so?
Well, they've been slamming on each other so far.
The 100 came out of the pits there and pulled right in front of him, noticeably slowing
He
him
was just
down.
trying to get. I think it was just coincidence. The 269 went back to the garage area. They're trying to get him back out on the track. There goes your shot. You're done.
Rob, we're down to 14 cars on the track.
15 if you count the yellow one that's coming back out now on turn 2.
Haywood still leads, widening the gap as he pulls around turn 2 by the hockey pucks up to the Jersey Shore. Messier on his tail. And they come around Angel's Fiddle.
What?
And heading into zigzag, a little congestion there, but Haywood backs off behind the 269. That gives Messier a chance to move up as we complete lap 30.
Well, I think you just have to be smart enough to keep it single file going through zigzag. If you get caught and you have to give up a position, that's what you got to do. Just give up the position. As Nick Haywood and now the Messier 88X work underneath the Hans 269. So that'll put him down another lap as the leaders come through zigzag along the front stretch. Bill Fountain's not been able to get by the Rebel. The Rebel's been holding up Fountain with the 77 car, trying to get past the number 100. The 100 went back into the garage area, came back out right in front of the 77, and Fountain's not been able to get past.
So you're saying it's a marathon, not a sprint?
It is, unfortunately, a marathon. There's still only 119 laps to go. Behind Fountain, it is Chris Reeves in a 00 in the 4th position. And then I still think it's Kevin Sorrell probably in the number 68 who would be in the 5th position. There goes car number 86 off the top of turn number 2. He comes back out onto the racetrack, and he will be, well, in front of those cars that are down at least one lap. The 86, the 269, and the 100 all putting themselves between the top 2 cars and 3rd place runner Bill Fountain in the number 77. I think things will get interesting again once the leaders work upon a number of cars at the back of the pack, but they seem to be clearly setting a very good pace out front with the 29 and the 88X, as Fountain is finally able to get past a couple of cars that were slowing him down. There goes the Rebel around the high side of the hockey pucks off of turn number 2, as he's running side by side now with Chris Reeves in 00, trying to just barely sneak through, and he was able to do that, getting around the barrier in between turns 3 and 4. Now they come through the zigzag along the front stretch. The 00 of Chris Reeves is the 4th place car. He's in turn number 1, going through Amen Corner, and now coming off the 2nd turn underneath the hockey pucks to try to get some track position and pass the slower 269. The leader is still the 29 of Nick Haywood, and Haywood is pulling away a little bit now from Eric Messier's 88X. He's put a lap car between himself and the 2nd place car of Messier. Messier's bogged down right now. And Haywood, with clear track in front of him, it's going to be a number of laps before he works upon the back of the pack again. And I think it could be some time before he might have to find himself in really thick traffic. It looks like he might be able to approach the 101 and the 8 car by themselves, and he should be able to work past them pretty easily. But when he gets into this area that's going into turn number 1 right now, those cars have been almost stuck together on the racetrack. Oh, the Hans 269 is limping back towards the garage area. That'll be trip number 2 for the 269 to go back to the garage, as the 50 car of Tyler Levine just missed him. He was able to get on the binders and dive down to the inside and just missed the number 269 of Hans. 37 laps complete. The leader is moving into turn number 4. Nick Haywood approaching now the back of the pack again. First in line will be the number 101 that he'll have to negotiate. That is Chris Hines, who is from Peru. The 92 returns to the racetrack. He's been back in the pits, and here comes the flipper. Ryan Benoit in the 122, who flipped off at turn number 1. He's been in the pits for several laps, and now he comes back out with 38 laps showing complete on the board. Good to see Ryan none the worse for wear, at least he isn't physically. I'm not sure we can say the same thing about his race car for today. But Ryan Benoit crossing the start-finish line now through zigzag in the number 122 back racing.
You said the 92 of Lubick was coming out of the pits. He didn't come through the pits. He just has turn 2 flew. That's how bad his line was
he
through
missed
turn
it.
number 2.
He missed the 2nd turn, okay.
It looked like he was coming out of the pits because, well, the line he took was so poor. Uh-oh. What's wrong with the 4?
Well, he went around the tire barriers that are in the 3rd turn. Meanwhile, our leader is behind the 8 car as well as his teammate in the 92 as they work up into the 2nd turn. We'll follow Nick Haywood as he tries to negotiate some of these slower cars towards the back of the pack.
Well, I think the 4 is going to park up on top of turn number 4. Well, at least that's where he's going to be for now, and he's going to sit there. Taking a look back up to front, it's Nick Haywood. And Nick Haywood is running right behind the 92, his teammate, Lubick. Haywood has been driving rather smooth. He's had a smooth run throughout so far. The 88 has some separation, and he's got some work to do to catch back up. As he's got a little bit of clear track in front of him, he's going to have to work around the 8 of Hunter Murray. But Nick Haywood's not having an easy time getting around his teammate Lubick. I wonder if Lubick knows that his teammate's right behind him and that he is in the lead. Mike Hance on the backstretch still working as a roadblock in that 269 car.
The Rebel just left the track again. He's gone back to the garage area with the 00.
Well, he's headed back south. A little bit of contact. The 50 has to dirt track it, and he's going to, oh, he gave it right back to 35. He slammed him. Yellow flag is out. The 35 slammed him in the rear end. And, well, the 50 didn't forget about it. The 50 turned left and gave it right back to him. Echo in just the loudness that he was providing. He was more excited than some of the drivers
So
that
you're
were out
saying
there.
he was animated. He kept you on your toes.
Well, he
kept
did
you
more
awake.
than that.
Well, that's good. So Haywood's the leader. The 88 of Messier is second. That's the 88X. And in third, Bill Fountain of the 77. Fourth would be the 00 of Chris Reeves. As the green flag is back out, now Haywood again really benefits from this yellow flag because he's going to be able to run a number of laps with a clear track in front. And the other, oh, there goes the 88X. He's the second place runner. He was too hot into turn number 2, and he is going back to third. And, well, he's back up to speed now in front of Chris Reeves, the 00.
That car pushed like a Mack truck.
So it cost him a spot over in turn number 2.
Had trouble in Amen corner.
Well, exiting Amen corner. The Rebel is running again. It looks like he's set to return from the garage area with the 100. Nick Haywood pulling away. Second place runner Bill Fountain in the number 77. And the Enduro is as much about not only speed and deft driving, but it is endurance. You've got to have a car that will last 150 laps. And certainly right now, Nick Haywood, his car running strongly with the number 29. He has about a third of a track advantage over car number 77 in Bill Fountain. It's a full backstretch as lap number 45 is going to go up on the board this time by for Nick Haywood in the number 29. The 92 is down a lap. The number 8 is down a lap. And then you've got Fountain in the 77, the next car on the lead lap. And then it's the 88X of Messier who is sitting in third. Fourth place runner, the 00 of Chris Reeves. He would be in fourth. And then I believe it's the 82 who is now in the fifth position. I think the 802 of Brett Wood is on the lead lap. I don't believe he's gone down a lap. We haven't mentioned the 802 a lot, but I think he is running in the fifth position. He is from Georgia, Vermont. So
look
there
out.
goes the 122 again. He tried to go to the right and then snap it back left, going around the barrier up in turn number 3, and that car did not want to come back left for him, and he went right off the top of the third turn. That, of course, is the flipper, Ryan Benoit. He flipped once over in turn 1, and he just tried to flip it again off turn number 3. Fortunately, the car did not go over that time. He's back out on the track and running at speed. So the leader, Nick Haywood, over in the second turn, and he still has that same advantage, perhaps a little bit more now over Bill Fountain, the 77. Eric Mestier 88X is just a car length behind Fountain in the third spot. And then fourth, it's Chris Reeves. No, the 802 has just gone past the 00. So the 802 of Brett Wood now unofficially in that fourth spot. And then in fifth, it would be Chris Reeves in the 00. 48 laps complete. Nick Haywood still with a clear track. And I think things are playing out perfectly for him. Especially on these laps. He just wants to put laps up on the board, and if he can run with a clear track in front of him, he doesn't have to worry about running side by side with somebody else through the obstacles that are out on the racetrack, and right now that's the position that he's in.
If that Rebel car could have stayed on the lead lap, he's quick. He's moving through, slicing and dicing past some of the cars that are on the lead lap. He's got a good car, just unfortunately hasn't been able to stay on the lead lap.
Well, you know, when he started to develop trouble after he punched the back of the 77,
yes,
and, put some fluid down on the racetrack. That's when that car has struggled ever since that happened. Well, lap 50 is now up on the board. Nick Haywood still leading at car number 29. The battle for second between the 77 and the 88X. 88X behind Bill Fountain in the 77 going down the backstretch.
Bill Fountain in the 77 maintains that second spot. He's got Messier back on the back bumper. Remember, Messier is the one that pushed big time off of turn number 2. And that allowed a number of cars to go by, and Messier is working his way back up through the field. He's now right on the back bumper. Perhaps he's going to try and make a move this time down the backstretch.
That's the best race on the track right now.
Yes, it is, as they work past those Michelin tires, past the Bruno block, as they work through down on the backstretch. Now past the Jersey Shore, down through Zig and Zag. And Messier still can't find a way around. So Messier is just hanging on the rear end of Bill Fountain. Nick Haywood is coming up on the 50 car. The 50 car is, he's making that car real wide. Tyler Levine. Nick Haywood in the 29 looks down to the inside. Remember, Nick is the leader. No problem getting around the Levine 50. There's been a number of cars that have had a problem getting around that number 50 car. He's making it rather wide. Back to the battle for the second spot. Looking down to the inside was the 88X of Messier. Messier and Fountain. Fountain has the second spot, but Messier has been there, and he's just waiting for Fountain to slip up. They get pretty good speed going through Zig and Zag. Sherm Chute looks pretty good right now. They go through the first and second turns past the set of Michelin tires down the backstretch. Nobody has been slowed down, or no one's had a problem with the Bruno block in turn number 3. They work again, this time down the front stretch, and Bill Fountain that has enough to hold him off. We'll take a look at the 802 car that has come to life in the last 20 laps. That's Brett Wood. He runs right now, I believe, in position number 4 as the 00 of Chris Reeves rounds out the top 5. Nick Haywood has about half a track, half a front stretch rather, between himself and the 5th place car. I believe everyone else other than the 68 is down a lap. The 68, I believe, is the last car on the lead lap. That'd be Kevin Sorrell, as he will be the next car to go a lap down. Nick Haywood is moving in that number 29. Kind of a log jam right now. Through, what's wrong with the 50 car? Well, he locked up the brakes.
Popped the trunk.
Popped the trunk. Jumped a jump back there. And, well, here he comes. He's coming right back. There's that number 50 with the trunk open. He's mooning people.
That's just going to improve the aerodynamics on that car. You get a little more downforce.
Well, he's waiting for an opportunity to get, don't go now. Don't go now. Now you can go. As he gets through, he catches a piece of the Subaru that was down on the inside. The 122 heads down to the infield. You can't do that.
Benoit had to avoid zigzag.
You can't avoid zigzag. That's taking the easy way out.
I think he did.
Well, we must not have, the scoring must not have seen it.
Oh, the 122 had to try to get around the 50, and in order to do it, he almost went back to the pit concession stand.
I'm telling you, the 122 has spent more time in the grass than he has on the blacktop. Lap number 60 in the books.
Nick Haywood continues to lead this Enduro race here at Airborne on a beautiful Saturday. As the rest of the field, we got about I think we got a baker's dozen out there. 13 cars still running. As we are a little more than 1/3 of the way through this 150 lap race. Haywood trying to work around some more lap traffic as he goes down the backstretch, coming up on Christopher Reeve, and he'll go around him, darted right around him as he's trying to clear some more lap traffic. And the 77 of Bill Fountain and the 88 of Eric Messier continue their battle for second and third. They're well behind Haywood as they make their way through zigzag right now and come down Sherm Chute into Amen Corner. Fountain in the 77 is trying to get around some lap traffic. I can't tell what number that orange car
That's
is.
the 9.
There's trouble in zigzag as the 8 goes.
He avoided
shooting
zigzag.
through.
You can't do that.
Well, you can.
A couple of times in the last few laps, we've had cars avoid the zigzag inadvertently, I would think.
What's significant now is unofficially we have only 4 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead, the 00 of Chris Reeves, has gone down a lap to Nick Haywood in number 29. And unofficially, the last car on the lead lap right now would be the 802. And he's not that far away from perhaps going a lap down himself. So Nick Haywood still setting a very fast pace.
Brett Wood in the 802 select car in the 4th spot. As Haywood, you're right, Rob, here he comes. As he comes out of turn 4, heads into zigzag. And Haywood completes lap 65 as your leader. As the rest of the field clogs up in front of him as he tries to get around down the backstretch, and the 77 and the 88 and second and third just past Sherm Chute as they are well behind in second and third. Nick Haywood has got to be enjoying himself behind that wheel right now, so long as things stay smooth.
I think he has to be smart. He's already at a point in the race where obviously he's got the fastest car. Oh, and he's sideways in turn number 2. I think he really has to drive a smart race from here on out and not put himself in any type of dangerous situation out on the racetrack, because he's demonstrated he's got a car that's about a half a track faster than everybody else, as long as he can keep it pointed in the right direction and not get himself in any trouble.
He certainly has established himself as the car to beat here today. And Robbie, I think you're right. That Rebel car is pretty fast.
Well, the Rebel car, he's been pretty impressive over the most recent green flag run that we've had. He came back out of the pits, and he's running, if not with those lead lap cars, better than some of the lead lap cars, although it seems like he's falling into the clutches of the 00 of Reeves.
Haywood crosses the finish line as he darted through zigzag there. I don't think he heard you, Rob, as he's going full bore there. He wants to race and race hard, and he's certainly doing it as he cruises down the backstretch as the 86 has some trouble into the Jersey Shore barrier and scatters those tires, making it an even more daunting obstacle, perhaps. We stay green, though.
Oh, this could be a little hairy along the front stretch now through zigzag, as the 86 is off the pace, and there's a number of cars that are now boxed up right behind them. They've got no place to go as the 86 is trying to get back to the pits.
Bill Fountain's trying to push his way through, letting that 101 know that, well, you better go a little bit faster.
Fountain cleared it cleanly. Messier's on his tail as they try to somehow get back into this race as we've complete 70 laps, Rob.
All right. Now it is Nick Haywood trying to put the fourth place car down a lap. The 802 of Brett Wood is the fourth place runner. And that certainly would be significant. You'd only have 3 cars on the lead lap, and that appears to be the case. Nick Haywood make the pretty quick work of the 802. I thought it'd be a little bit more difficult for him to get around the 802 car, but that certainly was not the case. He drove right around, coming off the fourth turn, headed to zigzag, and was able to race right on past the 802.
Rebel went back to the pits again.
So it is the 29 of Nick Haywood. His lead is now almost a half racetrack over the 77 of Bill Fountain. Not quite. Fountain closed in a little bit as Haywood got bogged down in some slower traffic, but so too is Fountain now. He's just moving underneath the 122 of Ryan Benoit. So the leader is Haywood in the number 29. The 802 is down at least 1 lap. That is the Brett Wood car. The 269 of Hans comes back out on the racetrack.
Right.
He's been in the pits a number of times. The 92 of Mark Lubick has been also in the garage area a few times, and he is down at least 1 lap.
Whoa, no! Messier just dumped the 122.
Over in turn 3, Ryan Benoit in the 122 clipped one of the inside tire barriers.
No. Messier dumped him. Messier put him right down in the infield.
The 88X was tired of running behind the one. Had he been behind him for a while? Or did he just pull up on the back of him?
I think he just pulled up on him.
Well, this 122 is a tough car because it's flipped. It's now punched one of the tire barriers. It's just about as big as that whole car is. And he's still out there on the racetrack. That car pushing over in the second turn. I'm sure it's a handful now. It wasn't probably real easy to steer earlier. And now it's even a bigger mess with that 122. As he goes through the connect the dot tires over in the third turn. That's our new name for that. And now he comes off of turn number 4 into zigzag. The 122 still going. He's doing all right.
Haywood's coming up on him soon. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that.
So again, the cars that are still running out on the track, Haywood the leader, the 802 hanging with him. Brett Wood, he went down a lap about 5 laps ago, but he is keeping the leader in his sights. And the 92 of Lubick still out on track. The 79 of Bill Fountain is the second place car. He moves underneath Hansen, the 269. Chris Reeves in the 00 is down a lap to the leader. And you've got the 88X of Eric Messier. He is in the third place position. And that's it for cars that are on the lead lap. Also still running, car number 86, Tyler Rhodes from Milton, Vermont is still out there. Chris Reeves in the 269 with some contact over in the second turn. Still out on the racetrack as well as car 101, that is Chris Hines, who is from Peru. Kevin Sorrell in car number 68 is out on the track. I would think that he is a top, certainly a top 7 or 8 car. And then you go back to the 122 of Benoit, and here comes Nick Haywood flying past him, going towards the third turn. He'll move underneath the connect the dot tires and then work into the fourth turn. Nick Haywood showing the way. Bill Fountain goes past the Lubick in the number 92. He's got the big 50 of Tyler Levine in front of him. Here comes Tyler off the fourth turn down the front stretch. And Fountain is going to have to try to work his way through the zigzag and then eventually get around big number 50.
He's back. It's Rebel.
The Rebel is back out on the track. There he is, right along the front stretch.
Not taking off the front bumper of the Subaru.
Goes through the Sherm chute and up into Amen Corner in turn number 1. Oh, Nick Haywood not so smooth that time through zigzag.
Well, I think Nick wanted to avoid the great big bumper that was there, but the 122 took care of it and cleared it right out of the way.
All right, well, 122 was able to go past the 29, get one of his laps back, but the 29 is going to try to get back past him. And also proof that the 29 has slowed a little bit. The 82 is now, the 802, I should say, is off of his back bumper. So perhaps the 29, either that car is slowing down somewhat, or maybe he is starting to drive a little bit more conservatively, sensing that he's got a big lead, and we're now 80 laps in.
Well, Nick Haywood now looking back down to the inside. He says it's time to go, but the 802 is going to come right on through with him. That 802 looking to get a lap back.
Oh, there goes the Hans 269.
Well, Hans has also been called Dick Dastardly on occasion, and well, he pulled out the smoke screen that time.
If he was that, he'd have the 00 on the side of his car.
Well, Hans works through, and it doesn't appear like he's smoking anymore. The 9's going back to the pits. That is likely Todd Marlowe. So Marlowe back to the pits. Messier looks down to the inside of Hans in the 269. They're running side by side through the Bruno block. That hasn't been a problem. Hans gives a shot to Messier in the rear. Messier has to try and right that ship as Hans is able to get by.
That just doesn't sound right.
Well, Messier loses a couple positions after being pushed up out of the way by Hans. The 00 looks to move down to the inside. That is Reeves, although Reeves, that car doesn't seem to be up to the same pace it was earlier on.
Remember how Brett Wood in the 802 had closed onto the back of Nick Haywood trying to get back on the lead lap?
Nick Haywood's pulled away, huh?
Yep, something happened in the last 3 or 4 laps. Nick Haywood is back on fire, and he's flying away again from the 802.
The thing that Nick Haywood has to his advantage right now is he's got nobody in front of him. He's got clear sailing in front of him. And that's allowing him to really step on it and increase that lead.
With that debris on the front stretch now, zigzag is really only one line. You have to be perfect through zigzag, or else you'll get a piece of some of that debris. And that front bumper cover, as the cars go past, it keeps getting sucked closer and closer into that line. And we'll see eventually who the unlucky driver is that smacks it.
Well, who do you think is going to be the first driver to go through that?
I'm going to pick the
I'm going to
50.
pick 122.
I'll pick the 50.
122 or 269? No!
Oh, he's showing the smoke screen again.
Smoke screen on the 88X.
I'm telling you, that 69 have been trading shots. That smoke screen is intentional. Here comes the 122. The 122 is coming around. Let's see if he gets it this time. Oh, he was close.
Mike Hans got him. He got the 88X. Oh, but not for long. The 88X right back on it. That was just a temporary setback for the 88X. He's still in third.
That was a pretty good save by the 88X.
You know, I don't think my eyes are deceiving me. I think Billy Fountain's closing in a little bit on the 29. I think he's made up some ground. He's in turn 1, and now Nick is in the middle of the backstretch. At one point, it was a half racetrack lead that the 29 had over the 77, so I think Billy Fountain's closing in a little bit.
Well, we'll watch Fountain in the 77.
Oh, there it is.
Well, there's smoke screen again. 77 works right now. Down through zig and zag. See if he picks anything up in Sherm chute. Well, Sherm chute is clear, so he doesn't pick anything up there. But the 802 is staying out in front of him for now. We watch the 50 come through zigzag. That car is, looks like the rear end is kind of a little askew on that number 50 car. Nick Haywood is boxed down behind the 68 car of Sorrell.
He's bogged down, too.
And the 77 of Fountain, I agree, is certainly closing in, although Haywood now looks up to the top of the racetrack, and he's moving around the outside of Sorrell. Next is the 101. That's Chris Hines.
I would bet that Sorrell in the 68 is near a top 5 car.
Bogged down still, the 29. The 77 also, though, having problems getting around the 802 of Wood. One car going back to the garage area. That's Tyler Rhodes in the 86. And the 50 coming along the front stretch is still mooning the crowd with the trunk open. Find Billy Fountain. He's working around Jersey Shore. The 802 now just a car length in front of him through Sherm Chute. It seems like through Sherm Chute, the Wood is better than the Fountain 77. The Fountain 77 seems to close over by the Connect the Dots. Fountain again this time. They work off the fourth corner through zig and zag, and he's still not catching up. We're at lap 92.
Nick Haywood continues to lead, although, as we've mentioned recently, the 77 of Bill Fountain is slowly but steadily inching his way closer and closer as we are more than halfway through this Enduro race. Haywood, clear go, and we got some debris flying through Sherm Chute.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not sharp.
It hasn't caused any problems yet.
Have to make an appointment for that.
Haywood continuing to lead as he goes around the Connect the Dots, coming up on the 269 of Hance. He'll negotiate zigzag one more time. Fountain getting closer and closer every lap. He's in the second place in the 77 car. Eric Messier in third place, well behind in the 88X. Fountain coming up on the 802 Select car. Make their way down the backstretch. Haywood coming up on a lap car of the 92 there as they make their way through zigzag. Haywood still on the lead. The 86 off the bunker on the backstretch, back on the track now. As we've gone more than 95 and a half laps, just about. Haywood still your leader. Things have seemed to calm down a little bit for now, although we still do have that perilous debris in zigzag. Hasn't caused any problems yet, but as we mentioned, I'll bet you that will be a factor before this race is over. The 50s on the bunker in the backstretch.
Yeah, he went the wrong way around the Michelin tires.
We've had a few cars do that today.
Last couple of laps haven't been kind to the number 50 of Tyler Levine. He had trouble a couple of laps back over in turn 2.
Haywood continues to lead as he makes his way through Amen Corner.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the right front's broken on the 50.
We've got trouble through zigzag as the 50.
Well, we don't have trouble, but the 50 has some trouble.
Tyler Levine will bring out the yellow flag as the field.
See, it's a pretty big area, so unfortunately they're getting a little bit too good of a view at times today.
Green flag.
The green flag is back out. It's Nick Haywood at the number 29. And Bill Fountain now right off of his back bumper. The top two cars are right next to each other. And the 88X of Messier still over in turn number 2. But the leaders enter the third and fourth turn. Again, you can see Haywood with a clear track in front of him, try to pull away from car number 77 as we approach lap number 100. It's the 99th lap going up on the scoreboard. And you've got the 29 of Haywood leading by 4 car lengths over Bill Fountain and the number 77, 2 experienced drivers from here at the Airborne Speedway. Both of them have won a number of feature events over the course of their careers here. Of course, Billy Fountain's been racing at this track for a number of years, going back into perhaps even the 1970s, but he is in the second position right now, and it's lap number 100 up on the board. 50 laps remain.
Haywood seems to be pulling away just a bit, ever so slightly. But that 77 of Bill Fountain will not let him get away now that there's just 50 laps remaining. I think Fountain will hang around and get as close as he can. Fountain's definitely not going to back off here at all. And I'm not sure that at this point Haywood's going to back off at all either. Yellow flag is out. The 92 has spun. The 92 has it back going. One announcement that we have from the Liquor and Wine Warehouse is that they have 6 tickets to next week's race, September 23rd at Loudon in New Hampshire. The value of the tickets are $110 each, and they are selling them for $80. If you're interested, go to the Liquor and Wine Warehouse or call them at 569-7895. Again, you don't need to buy all those tickets. You can buy individual tickets. So that's from the Liquor and Wine Warehouse. Finding the leaders, it's Nick Haywood in the number 29. Billy Fountain is closed in. Fountain now runs about 3 car lengths, maybe 4 off the back bumper, and Nick Haywood is coming into some real heavy traffic. There's a lot of traffic in Sherm Chute right now, and that's where Nick Haywood is. Haywood moves through. The 8 has a little bit of brake smoke. The rear end kicks out on the 29 of Haywood as he works past the Michelin tire set. Pushes that number 8 up just a bit. Now Billy Fountain looks to move through down on the inside as well. Whoa, there goes Haywood! Haywood gets spun out, and Billy Fountain will take the lead. Haywood tried making that car fit in a spot that it didn't necessarily fit in, and the number 8 helped him go around, Hunter Murray.
There goes the 122 again.
Well, he doesn't like the asphalt. He prefers the grass, so there he goes. So now we're going to have to watch Nick Haywood try and play catch-up. The Rebel gave a little brake check to Messier and zigzag. Haywood's got some clear sailing in front of him, so now we're really going to have to see Haywood work that car back up to the 77. Fountain gave a shot to the rear end of the Murray 8. Fountain's going to go up to the top of the racetrack. Connect the Dot tires are up there.
Connect the Dots seem more
in line.
They're better than they were before. Billy Fountain's going to be careful. Oh, a little point of the black flag from Chief Starter Sherm Hamill. Points it at the 8 of Murray.
Oh, Haywood's chasing down Bill Fountain pretty quick. They can't get around the 8.
Well, I think Fountain's being careful.
He better be.
After what he had just saw. He's being real careful going around the 8. And then I don't know if they talked any strategy. Did the 92 of Lubick and the 29 of Haywood.
Strategy.
But if he gets too far ahead, that number 92 of Lubick is the Rebel spinning in the infield. That 92 of Lubick could do a little tag team on that 77 of Fountain. Haywood's going up off of the top of turn number 2. He comes back down underneath the set of Michelin tires, and he may have to rely on Lubick to help him out a little bit.
He's doing some agricultural racing, getting up there in the dirt.
Well, Fountain's got a pretty comfortable lead right now. He works to the top of Lubick in the Rebel. Now he's going to go down on the inside of the Rebel and follow Lubick through.
I think that's a case of Nick Haywood. Again, he's got plenty of time. He's still got 41 laps to work with as he tries to chase down Bill Fountain. I think he can do it, but just he doesn't have to get overly aggressive working past some of these cars.
Oh, look at that. Lubick just gave him a shot in the rear.
Talk about teamwork. The 92 trying to perhaps make it a little bit easier
I'm
for
telling
your
you,
teammate.
Lubick's the blocker.
We got the tag team competition.
He's running blocker. We might have to have the special referee come on out and break that up.
Oh, the 29 trying to get around the 8 again.
Oh, he's letting him know that.
Oh!
Hello! See ya!
Oh, he tried the old brake check off turn number 2. And then the 29 literally got right underneath his race car.
Things are getting serious now as we complete lap 111.
Well, Chief Starter Sherm Hamill's pointing the black flag at the 8 again. The 8's probably saying, what was I doing? But we all know he stepped on the brake.
Hunter Murray jammed the brakes. You could see the car just come to a halt over off of turn number 2.
And go up in the air.
In the meantime, through all this, Bill Fountain is going smoothly as he continues to lead, and he's alone on the backstretch as the 29 of Nick Haywood tries to right his ship and get back into things.
Don't say that too quick.
Get some toilet paper, Joe, for that mouth.
Fountain crosses the start-finish line again as your leader, as Haywood tries to mount a charge. He's coming up on the 802 Select car. And the is in between them. As Fountain continues to sail along as he goes around the drinking barrier. Coming up on some more lap traffic here. That's Christopher Reeve in front of him and Robbie's buddy Mike Hans in the 269. Fountain continues to lead. Haywood trying to get back into it. And he's got about track separating those two. As Fountain comes up on the lap car of Mike Hans. Let's see what he does here. As he approaches zigzag, he'll back off. Way to get through it. No problem there.
Whoa!
Down low. Tires off of Hans's car. Rolls along through Amen corner.
Oh, if it lands in the pickup, he gets 5 extra points. No. Didn't make it.
Tire continuing to bounce.
Oh, the 96.
Oh! Nails it.
That was an optical illusion.
Sends it for a ride.
Look out. Oh, that smacked the fence and stopped.
That looked like Todd Ormsby from this past weekend.
Yeah, practice.
In the meantime, Haywood, if he can get around these lap cars, he might have a chance to zero in on the 77 before this thing is over.
I think Nick Haywood's best strategy right now would be to stay away from the 8 car.
Right front flat on the 101. He's going back to the pits.
Right front rubbing on the 122.
The 88X of Eric Messier continues to run in third. He's well behind the second place car of Nick Haywood, though, as the 802 Select car and Haywood make it through zigzag. Now they come up on Amen corner. Haywood has his sights set on them, trying to clear him so he can have a clear shot at the 77 of Bill Fountain, who remains your leader.
He's being careful with that number 8. Nobody wants to pass the 8 car right now.
Yeah, it's like he's the measles. Nobody wants to go near the measles. Fountain thought about going high to get around car number 8.
Now he'll settle in behind him as the 86 drops down low as they squeeze by those hockey pucks.
This is allowing Haywood to close in.
This is exactly what Haywood wanted to see as he clears the 802 Select car.
Oh, the 8 went way high in the turn.
Fountain was able to get underneath him and get through zigzag.
Fountain saw that opportunity and he said, absolutely, I'm going to go.
As he's got a little clear sailing in front of him now, some clean track to work with.
You know what this means, though? Nick Haywood's going to have to work around the 8 car if he wants to catch up to Fountain.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Next time by, there will be 30 laps remaining in this Enduro race as Bill Fountain clears zigzag and crosses the start-finish line to complete lap 120 as your leader, Rob.
The Rebel went for a ride of the infield. I think he had some help perhaps from the 88X of Eric Messier. He's our third place car. But Messier and the 88X is in trouble perhaps of going down a lap himself because Bill Fountain, who is the leader, is closing in. We have 120 laps complete.
Oh, no.
Oh, perhaps the black flag there for the Rebel. 120 laps. Oh, he's got the left front tire flat, it looks like.
Yep.
121 laps now showing complete, and we still have 3 cars that are on the lead lap.
The Confederate States lose again.
Make that 2. The 88X just went down a lap. That's our third place car, and he is sputtering. Contact with the Rebel may have created a serious problem for the 88X.
Look at how loose the right front is.
He is limping around the racetrack. The 29 of Nick Haywood. Oh, he's right behind car number 8. Dives down to the inside. Gets under. Oh, the 8 has decided to go back to the garage area. That was a sigh of relief that you heard. And at this stage of the race, that would not and should not be easy. With the money on the line, they will try. That Fountain number 77 going to try to make it as wide as he can, as he wants to take home the first place prize money. He's moved around the 122. The 86 of Tyler Rhodes still out on the track. Tyler has done a decent job today. The youngster is, he's really holding up the 77 now, coming through zigzag, and that allowed Haywood to close to about 10 car lengths. The right front tire is down on the Rhodes number 86. Haywood now certainly can see the back bumper of the leader.
What the heck is the 122 doing?
The 122 is going back to the pits, and he may keep on going through the trees that are back there at the pace that he's going. He's headed towards the interstate. The 92 of Lubick is off in turn number 2. He comes back out onto the racetrack.
This is going to be interesting.
And the 122 is, no, that's the 88X coming back on the track the wrong way, right in front of the leaders. He came back out on the racetrack on the exit ramp. He used the exit ramp to get on the track.
The sheriff might have to patrol him for that one.
Think about that for a second. That could be a writable offense. This 269 is coming back out with the yellow car. All right. He lost the right front tire, but he is a number of laps down. The 122, after taking an excursion through the garage area, is coming back out onto the track. He went through the pits at a record speed and has come back out on the racetrack. He has seen more of the Airborne Speedway grounds today than I think most people have who have been coming to this racetrack for the last 30 to 40 years.
He's got his money's worth.
The 88X has gone back to the pit. He came back, ran a lap, and things weren't good. So his third place run is over and done. The 77 of Bill Fountain leading. Nick Haywood is now 10 car lengths behind him in turn number 2. Oh, there's the teammate. Let's see if the tag team plays out here. The 92 teammate right in front of Bill Fountain. Let's see what happens. Haywood's closing in. Fountain's going to try to get around the 92. Could it be a brake check maneuver taking place as they go through zigzag single file? Fountain is now in a teammate sandwich. The 92 is down on the inside. He's got Nick Haywood now 1 car length off the back bumper. As Fountain goes down to the inside. Lubick in the 92. He'll go down another lap. Oh, it wasn't easy. Fountain had to push him up the racetrack. Oh, he didn't know it was his teammate.
I don't think
now
so.
He gives him a little extra room. Here comes Bill Fountain. The lead that was 10 car lengths is now 5 along the front stretch. Lap 129 goes up on the board. 21 laps remain. Bill Fountain leading at car number 77. Working in second, it is Nick Haywood. He is now just 3 car lengths off the back of the 77 car. As right now in third place, unofficially, would be the 8802 of Brett Wood. The 802 would be working in third. Fountain leads on lap 130.
Well, it's certainly interesting at the front of the field with Nick Haywood right on the back bumper of Fountain. They work right now in turn number 2, past those hockey pucks in the Michelin tires, whatever you want to call it. Bruno's block now down to the inside. Connected out tires, Jersey Shore down to the inside. As Nick Haywood still right on the back bumper. There are a couple of slow cars up in front that Bill Fountain will have to pull some moves out of his sleeve that he's accumulated over the years of racing. Nick Haywood looks down on the inside. The 9 decided to go up over the top. He got right out of the way of the 77 car. Bill Fountain said thank you.
That was a good move, though, by the 9.
Yes,
Get out
that
of the
was
way
a generous
like that.
move. I don't think the 92 would have done that, though. Bill Fountain works through Sherm Chute into the first turn. And Nick Haywood still on the back bumpers, trying to find a way by.
He's faster.
Nick Haywood is definitely faster, but he's not easily finding a way by the 77 of Fountain. He's going to look high this time off the 4th turn, perhaps a slingshot down to the inside. Remember how slow Mike Hance was going? Earlier on, Mike Hance was doing a record slow speed, if you will. And if the 77 gets stuck behind Hance, then that's going to allow the 29 of Haywood to try and find a way by. Let's take a look. The 77 of Fountain goes to the top of the racetrack. Nick Haywood's going to go down to the bottom. Perhaps a Todd Stone pick. Getting pushed up the track is Fountain. Here comes Haywood down to the inside. It's going to be tight here through the zigzag. And taking the lead is Nick Haywood. Haywood takes the lead, and the 77 of Fountain didn't seem too pleased, as Fountain now has to try and play catch up again, as Hance maybe running the 29 down to the inside.
It's not. Fountain shouldn't be mad at the 29. It's at 269 who really interfered with the contest between the top 2 cars.
Mike Hance pushes up out of the way. The 77 of Fountain now back on the attack, trying to catch back up. Fountain looked like he was going to have some pretty clear sailing once that 29 was spun out by a lap car. The 92 was having problems on the right front.
That could have been the race right there, unless they get back into traffic.
The 269 car will play a factor.
Yeah, yes it will. It just won't be the deciding factor.
It could be.
Well, not the winning deciding factor.
It could be.
A couple of cars up in front of the battle for the lead. That's the 802 of Wood and the 68 of Sorrell. Will they play any factor? Who knows? We're going to have to wait a lap or 2 to find out. We're at lap 137. That means 13 laps remain as they come around this time. Nick Haywood still leads them by about 3 laps, or 3 car lengths rather. Nick Haywood now right on the back bumper of the 68 of Sorrell. Sorrell runs a middle line through the backstretch past the Bruno block. Now the connected out tires. Haywood looks down on the inside. This is closing in for Fountain. Fountain right on the back bumper. Looks and takes it up to the top of the racetrack. They're potentially going to go too wide through zig and zag. They do. They touch. Haywood sideways. He's in the wall. Haywood into the wall. The yellow flag is out. And he gets it going again. Joe, you mentioned you can't go double file through zig and zag. You're just going to clog up Sherm Chute if you go double file through zigzag.
Too tight. Haywood's having problems getting off the track.
Well, that car is, it's broken the back.
Yep.
But he's down a lap.
That's right. And then the 00, who I believe is down a couple of laps.
He would be down 2 laps to the leader. That's right. So Bill Fountain just needs to keep it straight.
It's a walk in the park here, unless the 92 decides to go back after him.
12 laps to go.
Green flag is back out. And, well, he gets a pretty good jump, does Bill Fountain in the 77. The number 9's going to nearly loop it in front of the rest of the field. He's able to right that car. It does Todd Marlowe. 122 is chugging along on the front stretch. Just 10 cars remain as Bill Fountain works past the flag stick at lap 140.
10 laps to go here in the Enduro race at Airborne on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Bill Fountain cruising along down the backstretch as he is the leader after that exciting move through zigzag where Nick Haywood lost it as they crawl through zigzag now. Now Fountain clears the lap car of Benoit in the 122. He'll get out front with nothing but clean air in front of him as he's got about 8.5 laps to go to capture this race as the 9 car spins off of turn 2 out in the bunker.
Well, he's had trouble the last couple of laps through turn number 2. That doesn't surprise me.
Now the 802 select car is listed in second place. He's well behind, more than a lap down. As
He would end up being right now a lap and a half behind Bill Fountain in the 77.
stranger things have happened, but I doubt we're going to see a miracle finish here as Bill Fountain tries to make his way through zigzag yet one more time.
Realistically, what could happen is the same thing that happened to the 29 could happen to the 77 as he tries to get around these obstacles.
It's funny, with only 9 cars on the track, you'd think there'd be plenty of room, but that hasn't been the case this afternoon.
There is now for Bill Fountain. He's got a whole lot of track in front of him.
Sure does, as he comes around the Jersey barrier and heads into zigzag one more time. He's all alone in front, crossing the start-finish line as the 9 and the 101 squeeze through, and there goes the 8, Robbie.
Well, Mike Hance is rejoining at the back of the pack.
Oh, right in front of the leader. That's good impact things again.
Today. It's about the 15th time Mike Hance has come back today.
Absolutely. He's been involved in several racing incidents here today as he makes his way through zigzag and now through Sherm-Shoot as we complete lap 145.
All right, so there's less than 5 to go now for Billy Fountain of the 77, who has a near 2-lap advantage. It's a lap and 3/4 over the 802, and that 802 car has certainly slowed down now. He's running a very slow pace. Billy Fountain could really just follow that 269 around the racetrack, and he would be fine. He doesn't need to pass another car. But Bill doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't.
Is going to stay on it. With lap 146 now up, he makes move down to the inside. See, any pass that he makes now could jeopardize his chance at winning. He goes too wide around one barrier, underneath the connect the dot, now around the Jersey Shore, and he's got the second place car right in front of him in the 802. They try to work through zigzag. The 269 right off of his back bumper, moves down to the inside line. That puts the 802 2 laps down now, and he's the second place car. Fountain with 147 laps complete. Moves underneath the tires in 2. He'll go around the Benoit 122, who has had quite an exciting day. There's the teammate. The teammate is right in front of the 77.
Oh, boy.
If he knows what happened to the 29, he may not be very pleased. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks are out for Bill Fountain of 77.
Shouldn't matter if he completes this lap.
Now, if I was the crew chief for the 77, I'd be on the radio right now. You know what I'd say? Don't try to go past the 92.
He's going slow.
Right
He's being real careful.
90. Just stay right there. Although at this point, he's got 2 laps on everybody else in the field. He may have already won it. Here they come down the front stretch. There's the white flag. 1 to go for Bill Fountain. Stay right there, Bill Fountain. No need to go around number 92. Fountain in the 77 on his way to the first place payday as he works for the final time into turn number 3. He'll go underneath the connect the dot tires, move around the outside of the 4th turn, come down the front stretch through zigzag, and Airborne Speedway veteran Bill Fountain is going to be the winner. He crosses the line and takes the checkered flag. Again, unofficially, it will be the 802 finishing in 2nd. 3rd, I believe, will be Chris Reeves in the 00. as those cars finishing in the top 3 this afternoon in the Airborne Speedway 150-lap Enduro. Now the 74, I see he's
also in the middle.
He's in a roll of his own.
Yes. Well, we're going to bring the Triple X out here also, that wagon. That's likely Josh Dost. It's always a Dost. I think Josh Dost is the Triple X. So he'll bring his car out there. One of the cars says Weasel on the back. That couldn't be Weasel Bruno, is it?
No.
They don't want to. Maybe they want to slam into Weasel. So we're awaiting the signal. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they're underway. Martin didn't back up.
He went to the safety zone.
Yeah, he didn't back up.
That was a smart move.
Well, Martin's getting some action on the front end from the 74. In demolition derbies, most guys like to try and save the front end, but Martin's going after one car, and then Martin gets slammed in the rear.
Oh, they knocked the Jersey barrier right over. Oh, Durgan's in trouble.
Durgan's in trouble.
His front just got punched. Oh, there's another good hit along the front. The 122 is trying to get out of harm's way. He's smack dab in the middle. Somebody just jumped right out of their car while the demolition derby's ongoing. Randy Martin is up against the Jersey barrier, and he's in trouble.
That's not a spot where you want to be.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Again, Martin takes it in the rear. Doss backs up in a red.
122 is still rolling, although he just punched along the front.
That's Stickle in the 27.
The 74 throws a pretty good hit using the back of his car. He's done a nice job protecting the front of the 74. The 57's going for a ride. He's pushed. Oh, big hit. The Douse Triple X. The 122 is still rolling in the infield. Oh,
Martin.
Martin built up a lot of momentum, and he punched the 27X.
Something just went poof under the Stickle 27.
The Triple X appears to be DOA. The 122 is still rolling. The 110's rolling. He's protected the front pretty well. Somehow the Stickle 110 just missed Martin down on the far side.
And he broke his left front. The left front of the 110 just snapped when he got a piece of Martin. The 110's out of it.
So he's done. Martin is still rolling, though. He's got no back axle. He's rolling with the front of that car. The 27X's Stickle is still rolling.
See who else is moving?
The back axle is
Benoit.
Oh, the 122.
He finally found what he's good at. Smashing him.
He didn't have a great day in the Enduro, but he could win the 4-cylinder of the Demolition Derby.
Well, Martin is now a tripod. He's lost the left rear.
Did you call him Martian? He's no Martian. That's Gilligan. Gilligan's headed up towards the track.
Bill Joyle was up on two wheels for a moment with the 57. He just gets nailed by the 27 of Stickle.
Oh, boy, yeah.
But take a look at tripod Martin on three wheels.
Yeah, that back axle is snapped.
Martin always elects the strategy of using the dummy donut tires.
How is Bill Joyle's car still going?
That looks like Mr. Bean's car.
It looks like a car that the Shriners might want for their next parade.
The 77 of Martin always goes with a strategy of those dummy donut tires on the rear end that allows the rear end of the car to get lower as he's trying to finish off the Stickle 27.
Well, I think he's finished.
That allows the rear end of the car to get lower to the ground. That way there won't be as many problems with the rear end of that car. And then you can somehow hit better. It's a strategy that numerous drivers do. You see Joyle also does it. But if you look at Martin's 77, it just doesn't look right without a wheel.
Where's my man in the 122 is done.
Oh, well.
74 is still rolling. Bill Joyle is the accordion right now. He's in the meat and a sandwich. The 33 is still rolling as well. So 74, 77, and the 33, and Bill Joyle somehow in the Shriners car is still rolling with that 57. Although I'm not sure it's going to be rolling much more.
No, Martin in the Tripod Express trying to turn that thing around. Well, the flagger better get out of the way because Martin's trying to come through. He gives a shot to the rear end of the 74. And the 74 is going to try and back out and push him out. Martin trying to put the finishing touches on the number 74 car. Going to give the 74 a chance to try and refire it and potentially move. He is on the clock. He's moving. So we're down to 2. It's Martin in the 77 and whoever's driving the 74. Again, remember we weren't given a list when these drivers entered into the Demolition Derby. There wasn't a spot for them to put their number down. So they just entered numberless. But, some of the drivers that we know from either past experience here at the Speedway or previous experience at Demolition Derbies. Martin and the 74 going back and forth. We're going down to 1. Normally you see heat races for the Demolition Derbies. There'll be 2 winners. This is treated like a feature. So we'll be going until we're down to 1. Martin is running away. Oh, but he's going back. Here he goes. Gives a shot to the front end of the 74. 74 is still going, though. Oh, something. It just got quiet. The 74 has appeared to quit. 74 is on the clock once again. It looks like he's done. And that's it. Randy Martin is going to pick up the win in the 4-cylinder feature. So is Harold Garrett. The 76 is Charlie Stone. No, not the singer, but the Demolition Derby driver. The 93, that's Eli Bishaw. The 14F is Alan Michael Fountain. The 42, well, that's Buck Brown. Everybody knows Buck Brown. And the 50 is Justin Macy. So there are 7 cars, 7 8-cylinders. The brake lights still work in Chico Martineau's white car. That's going to be number white. No, not number 1, number white. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag. Well, the 8 cylinders are underway. And Chico Martineau's turning it around, and I think he's looking for the big hit already. Here comes Chico. He's going end to end. Well, he nailed the barrier. Whoops.
Oh, he missed.
Hey, look at the fluid pour out of the front end now.
Oh, he had a huge head of steam all the way down the track and smacked the tire barrier.
He sucker punched that Jersey barrier.
Oh.
That would have been the big hit of the day.
Absolutely. Well, these guys can do some damage.
You don't want to be on the wrong end of the 8 cylinders. Here he comes again. He's looking for somebody this time, and he slams the 76 of Charlie Stone. Here comes Buck Brown doing a donut, and he gives a shot to the 00 of Harold Garrett.
Ouch.
Buck Brown gives it to the rear end of Eli Bishaw.
Careful. Bishaw's dug a hole in the infield. He's trying to get out of the divot.
Replace your divot. Winter rules are allowed. Again, please back away from the fence. Stay behind the white line along the front stretch. As Chico Martineau backs up into Eli Bishaw. They converge in the middle. Buck Brown gives a shot to Chico. And Justin Macy's 50 is kind of smack dab right in the middle. They want the 93 of Eli Bishaw to hit somebody. They're pointing at him, telling him he's sandbagging. Here comes the 14F. That's Alan Michael Fountain, and he gives a shot to Chico.
The 76 of Charlie Stone is out of it. His car is done. Justin Macy's number 50 appears to be done in the middle. Trying to get that group of cars in the middle to try to spread out and move.
Alan Michael Fountain is still going in the 14F.
Buck Brown is still rolling with a 42.
He's going to back right up. Well, he was going to try and hit Chico, but I think he missed. So we'll call that strike one for him.
14 is still rolling. Buck Brown is still rolling. Buck Brown's trying to find the 14 on the far side.
Well, he missed again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for the 14F.
Well, he just got him pretty good on the front.
Something just went poof. That's Buck Brown.
Yep.
Buck Brown's 42. Oh, Buck's coming over, and he's going to hit Harold Garrett. And, well, Wayne Seymour just got a mouthful of dust. We're going to try and see if somebody can get loose here in the middle.
Eli Bisha, I believe, is still fired with the number 93. Martineau climbs out of the white 00.
I believe it's the 14 of Alan Michael Fountain that's trying to move on the far side. The car is fired, but he's stuck right now in the middle.
And that's it.
And that's going to be it. So there's going to be 2 winners in this one. The 42 of Buck Brown and the 00 of Harold Garrett. So another heat is out on the Speedway. This is the 6-cylinder heat. Running down the roster, David Hemingway is in the 3 car. The 96 is Joe Stone. James Shreves is in the 32. Dave Van Wart in the 66. Todd Ebersol rather in the 82X. Scott Bouye in the 67X. Zach Sorrell in the 19. John Haywood in the 92. And BJ Harrigan in the number 97. So the cars are aligning themselves in position. And in a minute, we'll be set. All right, we're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the green flag is out. Well, the 962 forgot to go. That's Joe Stone. A battle down in front. It's kind of a mosh pit in the center right now. Here comes the 66. It's Dave Van Wart in the van. But a pretty good hit on the 19 of Zach Sorrell. Sorrell goes right back after him, though. He's not afraid to challenge the van. Here comes Shreves in the 32. He's heading towards some of the tires and actually headed towards one of the flagmen, too. You don't want to hit the flagman. Oh, the 19 puts a pretty good hit on there. That's Zach Sorrell. And then Shreves backs into the van, the 66 of Van Wart. Here comes the 19. Oh, he missed. He missed, but getting a good hit was the number 82. That's Todd Ebersol in that white cow look-alike car. Shreves looked to back up into the van, saw the driver door, and then back out of that move. Again, you can't drill someone in the driver's door. That's kind of a courtesy thing in demolition derbies. You can't drill someone in the driver's door. That's not allowed. There's some action going on in the middle of the track. The 97 of Harrigan trying to push that van, the 66. But that van's not giving in. That van's holding up pretty well. Ebersol in the 82 gives a good shot to the front end of the Harrigan 97, and then Shreves backs into the Ebersol 82. Harrigan 97 pushing the 19 around down at the far end. The van also getting into the action. They push the Jersey barrier out just a bit. Shreves is in the middle, and Shreves could end up being the meat in the sandwich, although he was able to peel out just in time. Ebersol gets pushed all the way back to the left of the 3 car, and then the 66 of Van Wart goes on with Shreves 32. Here comes Van Wart, gives a shot to the rear end of Ebersol. Shreves trying to finish off Ebersol as well. Still a pretty good number of cars. I count just 3 cars that are knocked out from the start. The 962 is out. That is Joe Stone. The 92 is out of Haywood, and the 3 of Hemingway. Those 3 are all out. Todd Ebersol pushes one tire out of the way. He says, I don't like that there. And then he drives into the 97 of Harrigan. The 66 of Van Wart pushing the 19 around. And the 19 is Sorrell. And then Van Wart backs into the Shreves 32 car. Action clogged up in the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Van Wart, puts a shot on the Ebersol 82. Some of these cars wearing down, you can tell. Not fast movement north to south with these cars. They're just inching and crawling and trying to put the finishing touches on. But here comes Ebersol with a head of steam, and he drills the rear end of the 66 car. The brakes must not work too well on that Ebersol 82 because he's having problems stopping. Once he gets a good momentum and he puts a good hit on, he's having problems stopping right away. He's still working on that Van Wart 66 van. That van's been holding up pretty well. Here comes the van around looking for somebody to punish. And he gives it to Shreves as well as the 67X of Scott Beaulieu. Shreves tries to play chicken with that number 66. Shreves ends up pulling out. He's going to use the rear end of the car now. And he backs up into the 66 car, gives him a shot in the rear end. We're waiting just a second. We're going to see if we're down to 2 cars. If so, they'll likely run a final feature for 8 and 6 cylinder cars. There's 1 car that is on the clock. We're awaiting the final word. So Dave Van Wart will get the victory. Shreves was also still going, and there will be 1 more that will advance.
Will help you at Burlington Bedrooms. Prices start.
Heat hits the track. Looks like 6 cars will be in this one. And we'll fire off the list. It actually looks like 7 cars. Another one appears from beyond. Butch Lemire is in the 57. Austin Smith is in the orange number 70. Nate McLean is in the 69. Tom Bishaw in the number 49 car. The teammates, Jeremy Garceau and Eric Garceau. Jeremy is 86, Eric is 87. And looks like 1 more will join us. And that is the 000. It says Wiggletown on the roof, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to call that one Wiggletown. He's having trouble backing up already. He's going to need a push. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that's Wayne Rondo in that 000. We are underway. Wayne Rondo gives a shot to Austin Smith. Here comes Bishaw. And Bishaw gives one to Rondo in the rear end. Smith gives it right back to Rondo. The teammates are working on the 69 of McLean. Here comes Butch Lemire in the 57. He gives a shot to Austin Smith, and on the way by ends up nailing Garso. Tom Bishaw, dirt tracks it through the infield. He's looking for somebody to hit, and he's going to go after Austin Smith. Gets him in the front end. Also moving around was Rondo. Here goes Bishaw once again. Tom Bishaw, the 49, spins it around looking for somebody to go nail. And Tom Bishaw is going to pick Garso. It's Garso in the rear end. Tom Bishaw from downtown Wiggletown. The action right now is in the middle of the track. They move down and migrate to the far left end of the infield. They'll stack them in. Garso going to look for a pretty good hit. Garso actually going to spin around. Jeremy Garso is pushing the 49 of Bishaw into the barrier, trying to pin him there. Here comes McLean in the 69. McLean drives Garso in the rear end. Jeremy Garso, that is, Wayne Rondo. Then comes in and gives a shot in the front end. Action is stacked up down to our left. Tommy Bishaw, the meat in the sandwich. It's a Wiggletown sandwich right now with the meat in the middle being Tom Bishaw. Butch Lemire has worked his way free. He's going to look to snap that car around. And Garso tries to clip him on the way by. He does. Here comes Rondo, and they hit head on. Garso now going to put a hit on Rondo. Here comes Tom Bishaw. He's free, and he gives a shot to Jeremy Garso's 86. The Garsos are Beekmantown guys. And Bishaw has been delivering a hit. Here comes Bishaw one more time. Coming through. Front end of Garso, although Garso's headed backwards. He gets in the gas, and that is going to create a divot in the infield. Butch Lemire backs up, makes a little bit of contact. He's having problems steering that number 57 car. He'll swing it around. Garso pushing him from behind. Here comes Tom Bishaw on the 49, looking for somebody to nail. Bishaw with those smokestacks through the hood of the car. Whips it around, and he's going to go after Garso. Hits Garso on the right side. Garso goes through forward, puts a hit on Butch Lemire. Tom Bishaw kicks up the dust and goes through and nails Garso. Garso, a battle of Beekmantown and Wiggletown. Butch Lemire swings it back around. Saw that Tom Bishaw was right there, and they're going to have to go after Garso, and they pin him. They sandwich the 86 of Jeremy Garso. One on the left, one on the right. There's still one car moving down towards the left end. Here comes Tom Bishaw. Tom Bishaw still puts a hit on, even though they're trying to get him to stop. He now notices that we have stopped, and on the clock is Jeremy Garso in the 86. The last two cars that were running were the Lemire 57 and the 49 of Bishaw. The 86 was also moving, but he's the car that's on the clock. So they're going to declare Tom Bishaw the winner. I believe 86 will get heavy hitter potentially. I think Butch Lemire will certainly get at least second place. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Tom Bishaw is facing the wrong way. Although it looks like his partner is also faced head-on, so perhaps Tom Bishaw and his partner on the other side. Looks like McLean. Perhaps they're going to go head-on at the very beginning. I believe Todd Ebersol is one car that they are waiting for. The word over the scanner was that he had to weld something back together on that 82. So once Todd gets over here, we will begin the Wiggletown Olympics. Everyone is going for the gold medal in a final round of the Wiggletown Olympics. I believe we have our entire field. Check with the flaggers. Make sure they're ready. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're underway for the feature. Well, the two that were going head-on completely missed each other. One car's up on top of Eli Bishaw. That was the 14 car of Alan Michael Fountain. So action going on in the middle of the track. Tom Bishaw's doing donuts around the outside again, not hitting anybody. We're waiting for him to put a pulverizing hit on someone. He's looking at Buck Brown, but Buck Brown worked out of the way, and he is going to hit the Shreves 32. McLean gives a shot to Bishaw in the rear end. Now Eli Bishaw looks to go work on that white car of Ebersol. Buck Brown in the 42, wide open right now, looks to back up into someone. He has room to do so. He's being allowed plenty of room, but the cars disperse. McLean following Bishaw around. They appear to be hooked to the 69 and 49. Eli Bishaw slams the McLean 69. And then here comes the 66. The van of Van Wart. Van Wart gave a shot to the Eli Bishaw 93. It appears McLean may be hung up on that Jersey barrier. McLean's day could have been ended as he's hung up on the Jersey barrier. Again, remember, please stay back away from the fence. Stay behind the white line along the front stretch. This is for your safety and also so others can see. Pinned up on the barrier is the 69 of McLean. Eli Bishaw is trying to work himself free, as the 66 of Van Wart has appeared to have quit behind Eli Bishaw. It's kind of got him pinned. Buck Brown moving through, trying to put finishing touch on the 93 of Bishaw, trying to hang him up on that barrier as well. Todd Ebersol's trying to work himself loose. He does. And he puts a shot into the back end of the 42 of Buck Brown. Smoke fills the air as one of the cars is the smoke billowing from the engine. I believe that's Tom Bishaw's number 49. Bishaw keeping the bugs away for everybody. We're gonna stop the cars on the front stretch. They're gonna check underneath Bishaw's 49. Everything appears to be in check. And they're back underway. Ebersol in the 82. He is a 6-cylinder car. It would kind of be an upset if a 6-cylinder car would have beat an 8-cylinder car. And that's it. Todd Ebersol is the winner of the 6 and 8 cylinder feature. The 6-cylinder upsets the 8 cylinders. And Todd Ebersol picks up the win. And the Demolition Derby's here today at Airborne Speedway.